Now in our first story, the funeral of the late Yaa-Naa Yakubu Andani II ended today in Yendi with a new person selected by the royal custodians of Dagbon to be enskinned as the new Yaa-Naa.
The Yaa-Naa Alhaji Abubakar Mahama has thus been selected to lead the kingdom after the late Yaa-Naa Yakubu Andani II was killed in 2002. Abubakar Mahama was contesting with 4 others, including the regent of Dagbon, Kampako Yaa-Naa Abdullahi Yakubu Andani, Boling Lana Mahamadou Abdullahi, and Tampion Lana.
Now, prior to the coronation, 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew has been imposed on the Yendi township by the Minister for Interior. The said reports indicated that there was a likelihood of high tension because of the presence of different factions and large numbers in Yendi. Hundreds of people earlier were stranded in Yendi as they prepared to observe the curfew.
Meanwhile, the royal Abudu family has expressed resounding support for the newly appointed Yaa-Naa of Dagbon, Alhaji Abubakar Mahama. In a statement, the Boling Lana of the royal Abudu family pledged his allegiance and stated that his prayer was for the Almighty Allah to grant the new Yaa-Naa, who happens to be his grandfather, the wisdom to maintain the newfound peace that the people of Dagbon have found. We move on to some other stories, and scores of journalists, friends and sympathizers today joined the family of murdered investigative journalist Ahmed Hussein Suale at Medina for his final burial ceremony.
It was a solemn ceremony earlier today at the Medina Central Mosque as the final journey of slain journalist Ahmed Hussein Suale began. The Muslim community observed the janazah, a special prayer said for the dead before their interment. This was preceded by the Juma prayers. His remains were finally conveyed to the Medina cemetery where the final burial ceremony was observed. Friends, family and fellow journalists were present to bid farewell to the late Ahmed. Notable among them were investigative journalist Anas Ramiyaw Anas, Abdul Malik Kwekubako, and a host of politicians. In his intercessory prayers for the late Ahmed, the chief imam of Medina, Alhaji Abdullah, said the killers of Ahmed have robbed the Muslim community of an asset, further adding that they will not know peace for the rest of their lives. Human rights lawyer and a resident of Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, who was present at the ceremony, called for the Inspector General of Police to step aside if the killers of Ahmed and related deaths are not apprehended within 48 hours. He also appealed to the government to set up a fund to cater for the family of the late Ahmed.
I believe as a matter of urgency, government will have to intervene, either setting up a trust that will be able to take care of these children and then the wives that he left. The reason being that, they are private journalists, but the work they do has public significance. What they are doing is just doing public service. They are working for the state, they are working for the nation, they are working for the world. And people like that need acceptance and protection by the state. So to the extent that we've looked on and this man, has been killed in the manner in which he was killed, but I'm hopeful that the IGP will do something. If he cannot do anything, I think that the IGP will have to resign.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service is offering 15,000 cedis to persons who provide information that will lead to the arrest of the killers of Ahmed Suale.
According to the Inspector General of Police, David Asante Apiutu, the police is committed in arresting and prosecuting culprits involved in the murder of Ahmed Suale. He announced a 15,000 Ghana cedis ransom for anyone with credible information on perpetrators of the act.
By the close of the day, I'm sure you would have heard how much is going to be the reward for anyone who will volunteer information regarding these cases, especially information that will lead to the arrest and the successful prosecution of these perpetrators. So yes, you are right. We're going to give that information and we'll put it out there as soon as possible.
Let's get to Jamestown, where fisherfolk in that part of the Greater Accra region are calling on government to attach urgency to its decision to construct a fishing harbour complex for them. This follows a demolition exercise to pull down illegal structures erected at the site earmarked for the construction.
According to the fisherfolk, the current administration must fulfill its promise of commencing and completing the project on time.
Though the fishermen at Jamestown are pleased about the news, they believe the government must be proactive this time round as similar promises have been broken by previous governments.
Biana Gajawa Mabo Ashwe Biene Nabo one wishing I go over lower and is any the Lancheba, the Wakawafi, one tower, a level of no tower and shona. Coming a fiabo Biene, why Joleni? A level tower, one tower near Ban, Kakabafi, won't do what you won't tell you one more. Lanchaba do me, and I walk at a fiabo, and I will let me will a ajole. She generally agua stretching and agua stretching, no what say. Agua lakawa, no go to a never. And be a go ega min, ega 8, ega 15, under 17, but I mean, where 17, I mean 18. Ololo na kondoko.
Lakawo, lakamonye lakawo, no shinakan. Like can you back a was and you got a was and you fear, you fear. We are balagachi, what be an washing would do, be at never like shake you away. Like I say, can you buy you? Can you see what? Can you buy you? Can you see what? Yeah, was more abo. I can see boy abo. I can see abafi abo. New York one and quality. I can see afi abo. New York.
The promise to construct a fishing harbour at Jamestown has compelled the Accra Metropolitan Assembly (AMA) to commence a demolition exercise to remove illegal structures erected on the land earmarked for the project. Fishmongers, on the other hand, who are bearing the brunt of the first phase of the exercise, say government must find them an alternative location to conduct their business.
Ni wamene mo wa mamu agba ni woke wotami woke woloe mami abakumo fe obi an mi ta oni government afia wa e ko ni wa tajen wa hon woloe eni le president ni lele eni ba wa ka o nye abi e lo bi e ni nya tanye hon ni si unu e no le na wa